Go! Hello, my name's Kenny Mammarella-D'Cruz, and I'm buzzing. I almost feel like I'm high as a kite for 3 reasons. Number one, I didn't realise how strong the coffee was that Anita made me this morning until there was like some syrupy stuff at the bottom, and I thought, oh my god, what have I been drinking? So since then I've been a little intolerable. Number two, Monday, Lee on Channel 4, Welsh Channel 4, we'll stick a link. It is absolutely amazing. The music, the story, what a buzz that was. And number three, I'm not one to say, come and do my workshop because it's going to be great and it'll change your life and this and that. Because I'm running a workshop on Saturday, how to facilitate a men's group here in Clerkenwell. Don't come, it's fully booked. But there's going to be another one in December, first Saturday of December. But I am so buzzed up because it's going to be a nice little group. There's half a dozen plus us. Really getting into what goes on behind the scenes, which words and spaces to hold, and body language and the thinking behind holding a group and what means what, and how to hold the space so men can really let go of what they're sitting on, what's going on for them now, what they haven't let go of, and let things pass. How to facilitate a men's group. And, you know, I've been doing this for 15 years, and for 15 years, I've not really been thinking, oh, that's cool, oh, that's clever, but I've been holding on to, oh man, I wish I could tell people that that happened then, and that's why that happened, and that opened that up, and that's the shift that that person took, but he did it himself, and now look at the change that's happened in his life. It's almost like how to make the space for unlearnings to happen and rewirings to take place. So you're not going to get rewired with me on Saturday unless you're one of the few that have already booked, but come get rewired and hold the space for other people's rewiring in December. So Facebook Live, my inner DJs are going, don't stop me now, I'm having such a good time. That's the coffee. When am I going to learn, eh?
Martin Todd is watching.
Hey Martin. So yeah, we were going to put out a newsletter, weren't we? Was it today or tomorrow? All about, you know, the workshops on and stuff like that, and stick a load of podcasts and things like that. It's hardly worth putting the newsletter out because we don't want anyone to come, do we? Unless put it out in November or something. Isn't it great to be able to pick and choose boundaries, what to do, who to be with, which parts of me come alive, which parts of me I don't need to go there. There have been a lot of PUAs around recently asking questions and things like that, and rather than choosing the experience of life that they have, or rather than choosing who to be and what to manifest in life, a lot of them have been asking, so who do I need to be, or what do I do in order to pick up women in the street, or get phone numbers and find a girlfriend? And you know, it's like, who do I need to be, which tricks do I do, which lies do I tell in order to score a quality girlfriend, probably in brackets, maybe this is my projection, so people think I'm okay, or so I feel complete, or so I've got everything crossed off the list and I'm safe. And for me, it's like, I'm not sure about doing it that way. What I've always found is the more authentic the man, the more alignment with who you are, the more of a party that you are, that you take out, the more people can join your party, which is very much I am. This is who I am, and I'm extending from here to you, and we meet intimately at boundaries that shift. Where a lot of the young PUAs do the am I. Am I interesting enough? Am I coming up with good lines? Am I popular? Am I being looked at? Am I getting likes and shares? Am I getting enough happening on my online dating to give me hit? Because if I'm not getting the hits, then there's a downer because no one... It's like, don't hand your power over like this to like, am I, and other people liking you. That's love addiction stuff. Getting an alignment with who you are. And as soon as these fears and these who do I need to be, who do I need to pretend to be, which lie will people buy stuff comes up, take a breath and think, thank you for reminding me who I used to be, and get back here. Remember who you don't need to be and let it pass. Have I spieled enough whilst being high on coffee?
Yeah, well, I would like to know, have you seen any people like that come in and have, like, turn their lives around kind of thing?
Funny you should ask. One guy springs to mind where we did the personal discovery. He filled in the personal discovery questionnaire, which is on the website, you just download it. And we did a session. We understood the cycles of the women he kept attracting, the situations that happened in the relationships, how they ended, his trauma before they ended, you know, the same old script that happened. And we understood why and what earlier on in his childhood dictated his behaviour and beliefs to manifest these outcomes. And then we went for a walk in the forest, once we knew him, to really get grounded and clear about the type of relationship he wants, the type of woman he wants, how he wants to spend his time. You know, he took his power back and got clear about himself, his life, and a real life that would bring him alive and everyone would be happy, rather than, you know, the whole chasing thing. And it was a very scruffy day. I remember we found a place, we lit a big fire, it was really getting grounded and spending time. And then that day he had a meeting in Knightsbridge. And after that, and you know, he was saying, why are people looking at me? Do I smell of smoke? Do I look scruffy? And then after that, he went to Whole Foods. Women were looking at him. One girl actually waved and came over and he thought, what, maybe she's got a friend behind me. Now he's a happily married man with 2 kids, and something changed inside him that attracted the women to him, and they were women that would not only bring out the best in him, but everyone gets to grow and be who they are, rather than, you know, the dramas and the ticket off the list panic. So that is just one of my favourite success stories. It's not every day that women start waving and stuff. Sometimes it's a little bit more subtle. Sometimes it's not that subtle. So hey, be yourself, love yourself, and share the love. No.
If I'm already going to the men's groups and I've got other friends who I think the men's groups would be good for them, should I try and convince them to come, and how should I do that?
That's a funny one, because most people would think, firstly, you know, when a man is asked to go into a group of unknown men, the fear would generally be, who's going to be humiliated? Who's going to be abandoned? Am I going to be humiliated? Am I going to be abandoned? Especially being the new one coming in and not knowing the rules and the ropes and the hierarchy and all that nonsense that usually happens. That doesn't actually happen with the men's groups. But they would probably, over and above that, think, oh, cult alert. And very often, rather than, you know, men's groups is a known term, but people project all sorts of things, like, do we, I don't know, get naked and hug each other? Do we have to cry and howl? And do we have to do rolled up trouser rituals and funny handshakes? And, you know, none of that nonsense. We just sit down, chill out, chat, hang out and see what's going on. But there's depth and reality, and there's a lot of laughter. So how to describe that? Because maybe come to a men's group might be scary. It might be, I hang out at this place and this is how people talk and this is what I learned. The best way I'd say is, this is my experience. Do you fancy checking it out? Or, I realised this, and then have a conversation about that. And if the men's group thing comes up, like, where did that come from? Then I go to this place, come and check it out if you like. But I'd go slowly, gently, because I can't blame blokes for being scared, because most bands of blokes do have this hierarchical, competitive, whatever streak, which is all well and good. But for me, the mature male includes that, and it's more collaborative, it's more open, it's more on the same side, and more fun than fair. More fun than fair, we should tweet that.
So is that why you don't call it like a support group?
Ooh, support groups are just asking for trouble. It's, okay, I'm not allowed in unless I have big wounds and I need support and I'm falling apart. Or I'm not going to be popular if I don't need more support from other people. So not only will I come up with a story that I might be over, but I'll ham it up and then I'll be saved. And for me, it's not about who needs saving. And, you know, people do come because they want support. They need support because they want, hopefully, more to grow and insights and to get healthy, which is kind of, I kind of want to say leaving the victim club. But it's fine to sometimes be a victim for a while and feel that and then let it pass when it's time and move into, what did Lee say recently, from breakdown to breakthrough. And it could just be a tiny little breakdown. You don't even need to whimper or, you know, change your facial expressions. But it's really like getting over it, getting real and living a good life.
Can you talk a bit more about No More Mr. Nice Guy and people, because there's lots of people that come to the groups. Do they get a lot out of the groups, these people, and why do you think they're coming from Mr. Nice Guy?
That's been the biggest batch of new blokes that have come to the groups recently, blokes that have read No More Mr. Nice Guy. I flicked through it, I'll be honest, I haven't properly read the whole thing. I've once been to a No More Mr. Nice Guy group, which was quite nice. Well, it was actually. Everyone was polite and second guessing and being kind. And I just thought this might just be the one that I went to, and I'm sure the others are, you know, it just felt like the blind leading the blind, because it's just nice. So I did get a lot of No More Mr. Nice Guy guys. And they show up to say, okay, I still want to be nice. I don't want to be a bastard. I don't want to lose the essence and the goodness of who I am. But I want my edge. I want other choices. I want other options. I want to feel my power. I want to feel my truth, rather than as a reaction, suddenly, I've done nice again. And now I'm a delightful little boy or whatever it is. So what I'm planning on doing quite soon, you know, time is a funny thing, especially when there's a full moon. But I intend to read on, I don't know whether it's Facebook Live or YouTube or whatever, No More Mr. Nice Guy, because I want to read it anyway. So I may as well read it to you as well. And if I stumble with pronunciation, you can probably put a message in and say, come on. And, you know, there might be comments and questions and whatever. But I'm really curious to get in, because I used to be such a nice Catholic altar boy. It was outrageous. Butter wouldn't melt. I knew how to get people to like me. I knew how to get women to kind of fall in love with me, but I was too much of a nice kind of puppy to actually bag the girlfriend at that stage. And I was so busy, you know, we talked about saving and support groups. I was so busy being the little saving golden boy that there wasn't space for me, there wasn't space for relationship, there wasn't space for the man in me to show up. So the nice guys show up and they include the best parts of that, and they turn into their own self-aware, self-respecting men.
Lau's just logged in.
Hey Lau, how Lau.
Do you have any last words? I think that was good.
Final last words. The most important person that I need to respect me is me. Because I could get other people to like me and respect me and all that kind of stuff. But if I feel I've let myself down, if I feel like a fraud, if I feel out of alignment with myself, then it's just, even if I get what I want, it's not going to include me. It's not good enough. It just doesn't work. So please yourself, and then I'm sure you'll attract the others who are similar to you, who'll be pleased along at your party. What?
And we'll be running a How to Facilitate. Maybe.
And we're running a You're Not Invited To How to Facilitate a men's group workshop here in Clerkenwell on Saturday. And we're going to be filming bits and bobs of it and putting stuff out, and the next one's in December. So you're invited in December, but it's full on Saturday. How cool is that? It's full.
And how can they know about the one happening in December?
The best, so there are two things. There's themannwhisperer.co.uk. If you go on the website, then there will be a pop-up to sign in to the newsletter, and there are all sorts of articles about all sorts of things, how-tos and questions answered, and funnies and insightfuls and special offers and things like that. So sign up to the newsletter to stay in touch. And there's Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. And mensgroups.co.uk. That will give you all the open groups, closed groups, camping, firelighting, shouting and screaming, whatever it is we get up to. So yes, see you in cyberspace.
Cool.